Welcome to the 15-Minute Podcast, the best 15 minutes of your day. Today, we're talking about forgiveness. Leah will discuss why forgiveness is important, the steps necessary to forgive, and the personal benefits it brings. But first, here's Alex with a good news story.
This good news story is about state parks that provide special wheelchairs called Action Track chairs. These special wheelchairs allow those with disabilities to traverse rocky trails, sandy beaches, uneven terrain, make steep uphill climbs, and even travel through heavy snow. Since everyone knows being outside can reduce stress, improve our mood, and increase relaxation, it's great to know that now those with disabilities can enjoy these benefits too. Presently, they are available at state parks in Georgia, Colorado, and Michigan. Hopefully, more states will follow suit in order to provide those with disabilities the opportunity to enjoy the great outdoors. And that's our good news story for today.
Thank you for that report, Alex. Though most of us will never experience the limitations of being in a wheelchair, it's nice to know that technology can help those with disabilities to live a fuller and richer life. And now here's Leah discussing the power of forgiveness.
Forgiveness is often viewed as a powerful act that can heal relationships, restore peace, and free individuals from the burdens of anger and resentment. Despite its significance, the act of forgiveness can be incredibly difficult, especially when the offense is profound. Numerous studies suggest that forgiveness can reduce stress, lower blood pressure, and improve overall mental health. However, the most significant benefit is the peace it brings to the individual who chooses to forgive. Forgiveness is a decision to release anger and resentment, offering freedom from the emotional and mental weight of the offense. The act of forgiving not only affects the one who is forgiven, but transforms the one who forgives, leading to emotional healing and spiritual renewal. The need for forgiveness arises from the human condition. People will inevitably hurt and offend one another, and without forgiveness, relationships can become fractured and bitterness can take root. Holding on to grudges and past offenses often leads to emotional and spiritual stagnation. In the Bible, Jesus warns that harboring unforgiveness can lead to spiritual consequences. The importance of forgiveness is not only for reconciliation with others, but also for maintaining one's relationship with God. Without forgiveness, we risk being consumed by anger, bitterness, and hatred, which can affect our mental health and prevent spiritual growth. Forgiveness is a means of releasing these negative emotions and making room for healing and peace. As we forgive others, we align ourselves with God's will, creating a space for love, compassion, and understanding to flourish. Forgiveness is not always easy, especially when the offense is significant or deeply painful. The Bible provides a clear pathway for forgiveness. The first step in the process is recognizing that forgiveness is a choice. It does not depend on our feelings, but is an intentional decision to let go of the desire for revenge or retribution. It requires humility, surrender, and a willingness to release the hurt. The process of forgiveness often involves prayer to seek God's strength to forgive when human ability falls short. One of the most profound aspects of forgiveness is that it often brings more benefit to the one who forgives than to the one who is forgiven. By releasing the burden of resentment, the one who forgives experiences emotional healing and peace. Holding on to bitterness and anger can lead to spiritual and physical harm, whereas forgiveness offers freedom and peace of mind. Forgiveness is a powerful and transformative act that brings peace to the heart of the one who forgives. While forgiveness may be difficult, it is essential for emotional healing, spiritual growth, and the restoration of relationships.
Leah, it's great to know that as we forgive others, we not only free them, but we free ourselves from the chains of resentment, allowing us to experience true peace and reconciliation with God. And now for my favorite part of our podcast that will hopefully make you laugh because laughter is good for the soul.
got into engineering. I love math. I love math. So when I got into comedy, I wanted to make math fun. So we get kids into science, technology, engineering, math. You make math fun. And I came up with, I call it comedy math. We use pictures and images, make math fun, and when you do math, it proves something, because when you break it down, you see the truth. So for example, eBay minus the internet, and you got a garage sale. Right? It's the same junk, it's just on the internet. On the other hand, Twitter minus the internet, and you have junior high school. That's what it is. That's what it is. Twitter is, I'll prove it to you. Watch. Remember the cafeteria in junior high school? Oh, I got an A in math, you're ugly, no one likes you. It's Twitter. Mathematically proven. You can't argue with it. AARP, where do store names come from? Watch this. AARP, the American Association of Retired Persons, plus the Department of Defense, and you've got Old Navy. All right, this is the stupid part of my act, just so you know. Don't overthink these people. Some of my smarter crowd members are going, is there more to that? That's just dumb. Cerner, the mattress people, plus Kohler, the faucet people, plus religion, and you get Bed Bath & Beyond. Bed Bath & Beyond. Wikipedia minus depends, and you've got WikiLeaks. Of course! It's WikiLeaks. That's the funniest WikiLeaks will ever be. Doesn't get funnier than that, I'm sorry. YouTube, this already happened. YouTube plus attention deficit disorder, and you've got TikTok. That's what TikTok is! Totally what TikTok is. It's terrible, it's terrible, it's terrible. This one's just amazing. Watch this. Miley Cyrus, minus makeup. If we remove all your makeup, you've got Justin Bieber. Look at that! Is that not amazing? I think they're the same person, I really do. They did one person, two careers. It's genius. Tesla, warning, bad joke ahead, warning. Tesla plus men's cologne, where's he going with this one? And you get Elon Musk. It's really bad, I apologize. But next time you see Elon Musk, you'll laugh, you'll think, I think I can smell him, he's got the... Mark Zuckerberg, I'm picking all the rich guys now. Mark Zuckerberg minus brains. If you pulled out his brains, you'd get the Scarecrow from the Wizard of Oz. No, I can prove it. Watch, you gotta put the hat, then look, it's perfect. I rest my case. And this will be the last one. Jeff Bezos, Mr. Amazon. Jeff Bezos plus space travel. He's doing that now, and you have Dr. Evil. He's Dr. Evil! Look, watch, just put the, look.
In today's deep dive, Susan and Keith will continue to talk about forgiveness, but on a more personal level. I'm sure their conversation will help anyone who is struggling with how to forgive or how to receive forgiveness. And now, here's Susan and Keith.
So forgiveness, it's like really at the heart of the human experience, right? We all stumble and mess up sometimes, and truthfully, forgiveness is the bridge that connects our mistakes to empathy.
Absolutely. And it's interesting. We often hold on to our small mistakes as if they're huge, no? That idea that we need to be perfect can be a major stumbling block in forgiving both ourselves and others.
Exactly. It's like we forget that none of us
Yeah.
are perfect. We all have our moments of failure. And those moments, as painful as they can be, are also the opportunities to tap into real, deep empathy.
Right, and it really challenges us to take a good, hard look at our own mistakes. I mean, facing our own shortcomings with humility is not an easy task, but it opens the door to understanding others better.
Yeah, it's like if we actually pause, recognize our own errors, then forgiving someone else becomes a shared human gesture. The idea is not to keep a checklist of faults, but to see that we're all just trying to make it through.
Sometimes I do wonder though, what about when someone constantly repeats their mistakes? Should we always forgive them so easily, or is there a line?
That's a good point, and one worth challenging. I mean, forgiveness by its very nature is meant to heal, but it doesn't necessarily mean we can't set boundaries. It's about balancing compassion with self-respect.
Exactly. And the idea that forgiving others also brings us a kind of relief. It's like giving yourself a fresh start while offering someone else the chance to grow.
Absolutely, it's almost like a gift, right? When you forgive someone, you're not just easing their burden, but easing your own.
Yeah.
It resets the cycle of conflict and opens up room for healing.
I also appreciate this perspective that asking for forgiveness isn't a weakness. It's pretty courageous to admit you were wrong and ask for another chance.
Exactly. And that kind of vulnerability builds trust. It's like admitting your own imperfections so that the other person feels safe to
Right, exactly.
show theirs too. That's the foundation for stronger, kinder relationships.
And it's so relatable. After all, who has never been on the receiving end of a harsh word or a misunderstood moment? It really makes you appreciate the transformative power of a sincere apology.
For sure, it's not just about the act itself, but recognizing that forgiveness can change the course of a relationship. It can heal a broken heart and restore trust in ways many wouldn't expect.
Yep. So whether it's forgiving or asking for forgiveness, the whole process is like a journey towards understanding, compassion, and ultimately growth.
Exactly. It's that delicate dance of humility and strength, embracing our flawed human nature and letting that awareness guide us toward empathy and a better way of connecting with each other.
Right on. And that's what makes diving deep into forgiveness so essential for like nurturing truly compassionate relationships.
Indeed, it's a reminder that although our missteps might haunt us at times, it's our willingness to forgive and be forgiven.
Forgiveness is powerful. However, the lack of forgiveness can be devastating. Some people choose to forgive, but others do not. One powerful example of forgiveness comes from the story of Mary Johnson. After a young man killed her son, she decided to meet with him in prison. Through their conversations, she learned about his remorse and transformation. Eventually, she not only forgave him, but also advocated for his release. Her forgiveness led to healing for both of them, and the young man became a symbol of redemption. In contrast, we have the story of another woman who chose not to forgive. Her refusal to forgive a person who had wronged her resulted in decades of bitterness and emotional suffering. The consequences of her refusal to forgive were clear. She lost the ability to experience peace and joy, and the grudge she held against her wrongdoer had a lasting impact on her life. The ultimate example of forgiveness comes from Jesus as he hung on the cross. He looked at those who had unjustly condemned him, beaten him, and crucified him, and he prayed, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." In his moment of deepest pain, he chose forgiveness over retaliation, teaching us that no offense is beyond the power of forgiveness. So the thought for today is, no matter what the offense, forgive, and you too will be forgiven.
Conrad, I'm humbled each time I recall how Jesus forgave others while he hung on the cross when I sometimes have a hard time forgiving others for minor things. But with his help, ultimately, I always choose to forgive. Well, that's all the time we have for now. We hope you've enjoyed our podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the thumbs up button, and leave a comment telling us what you would like for us to discuss. Until next time, from all of our crew, we wish you a blessed day.